Minecraft 1.20 is now in its pre-release phase, so therefore we should start thinking about everything that is actually coming in the update. So throughout the update, the features are still split between Bedrock and Java right now. In the official release, everything will be in both versions as it's supposed to be. But for now, for the snapshots and previews, we have things split between them. So the first feature we're going to be talking about is archaeology. Archaeology is something that was meant to be coming in 1.17, and then they said that they'd release it in a future update. So you need a brush to use archaeology, which you can make with 3-string 2 sticks. And so you get a brush. You can use a brush on suspicious sand. So you can see the sand here. It's different to the other sand because it's suspicious sand. So you can just use a brush. So this is different between Bedrock and Java. So on Bedrock, which is what we're on right now, you can see you break it and it disappears. So sand that you place in creative on your own, it won't actually have any loot in it. But you can get drops from normal sand that's suspicious. But on Bedrock, this sand just disappears away. On Java, that is different. But you can get different pottery shards, I think they're called. It's these shards, and you can put them together. These are all the 4 kinds. There's an archer one, prize one, all that. And you can put them in a crafting recipe with including bricks like this. So if you just used bricks, that will be an empty flat side, like you can see on these pots. You can also put flower pots on them because the top of these doesn't actually have a hitbox, and then you can put flowers in them, which is a nice touch, because as you can see, you can't actually, it's not classed as a block. You can have lanterns, which I feel it looks a little buggy, but it is a nice feature. Torches, and if anyone wants to know what candles look like, that would be like this. I've used the brown one to match the colour here, because you cannot actually dye these pots, which I feel like you could be able to easily. Our next feature, bamboo. Bamboo, you've got in planks, mosaics, you've got fences, pressure plates, slabs, stairs, all the good stuff. So you can use it for redstone, you can use it for anything. So that adds a lot to the jungle, because normally you just have one type of wood there, but now you can also get bamboo wood, which is a nice touch. And you can also create this stair-like pattern with the bamboo, mosaics, and planks combined. You can also do that with normal stairs because the bamboo planks have a stair variant and the bamboo mosaic planks also do have a different stair variant. Slabs obviously also come in both of them. But on Bedrock, you're supposed to be able to sneak through slabs now, as you can see here. But they actually had to revert that change for now temporarily, since the camera had some issues with it and they're trying to fix that. But you will be able to do that like in Java. So this is a parity feature for Bedrock, so that you can do the same as in Java. There are also piglin heads now, and you can get that like charged creepers like usual. With bamboo stuff, you can also make rafts. So this is only bamboo stuff. You can't get boats, and you can get them like in chest form and raft normally, like a boat would. Now crafting with bamboo is a little different. You need to use 3x3 grid, where you can get a block of bamboo, which then you can turn that block of bamboo into 2 bamboo planks. And then to get the bamboo mosaic, you turn the bamboo planks into bamboo slabs, and then turn the slabs into a 1x2 block, which will turn it into a mosaic. And then that mosaic, you can then also turn into slabs to get the bamboo mosaic slabs. So that's the bamboo crafting, so it is a little different, but you can still do everything like you normally would with the planks, it's just the blocks. And then obviously you do also have the trapdoors, which I do like. It's very unique, very different. I do like it though. You've got the fence gates, the fences. Also, you've got the bamboo doors. I feel like it reminds me of a spruce door and a different door. I just don't quite know what. Maybe a birch door, kind of, combined. And then there's, next feature we have chiseled bookshelves. So, I actually forgot to check the crafting recipe, but you can use it for like walls and ceilings and floors as well. So, this is simply just 2 chiseled bookshelves put together, facing one another. So, if I just break one of these, you can see that's the inside of them. So that's what it looks like on the inside. It's just they're put together so you can't actually see the chiseled part. So, chiseled bookshelves, the side texture is all the same, but the bottom and the sides are different on textures. And then you can put books in them however you like. So that could be any book. Enchanted, normal books, written books. You can even put a book and quill in it if you like. And you can put them in any slot in them. And then when you take them out, then that's that slot that's been taken out of. Like, the slot is unique to the book. Then there's also hanging signs. So here we've got some bamboo ones. I feel like the hanging sign on Bedrock, you can clearly see it's got 4 lines there. And it only fits 4 lines. I thought it would fit 5 because I'm testing it right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can't actually put a 5th line on. Even though clearly you could technically do it if this was like real life. Because this is the space. So you make them with stripped logs. So it actually gives you 6 instead of 3. Also gives new functionality to chains, which I like. So bamboo signs obviously as well. But bamboo signs and everything bamboo is just, it's very different to the jungle stuff. I don't know if I already said this, but it is different. And it's in the same biome. So I like how we have more variation for a jungle. Because jungles tend to be kind of dense. So, and I also feel like bamboo stuff is similar to birch a little bit. But in terms of actually hanging signs, I feel like it could definitely have a 5th line. But I guess they could have it, but to keep the same as actual signs, then they're making it fair by also giving hanging signs 4 lines. You will see this is different on Java. Also, blocks of bamboo don't really make sense. People have said everything about this. They have a 4x4 grid instead of a 3x3 on the top and the bottom. It doesn't really matter though, because that's not the focus. It's the fact that they're bamboo. And then hanging signs, yeah, there's not much more to say about them, honestly. But suspicious sand and structures. So you can get it in desert temples and desert wells. But the desert temple has got a new feature in it in 1.20. So this is your desert temple, and on the back left and right side, so opposite of where these pillars are, you've obviously got this secret room in the center with the chests and everything. I don't think the loot has changed, but on the back you'll find a bunch of sand. So this right here, this is all sand. This was a bunch of sand, and if you dig all of that sand out, then that sand actually takes you into a secret room. So that room, it's like the bottom room, but it's actually not. It's very different. You can find some suspicious sand in these as well. But it's actually just, it's a room like this. There's nothing under there. This is like this because this is obviously under the ocean, so it's got to generate on something. I don't know. It's a funky spawn for a desert temple, I know. So I dug all the sand out, and I've been left with 2 pieces of suspicious sand. So I don't know how suspicious sand actually, how rare it is. But it does seem fairly rare to me, because I haven't found it a lot. Obviously 2 pieces for this much, because this entire room was sand and all that. The stairs were covered up. But if we dig it away, we've got a diamond, which is probably one of the rarer drops. I didn't check the rarity of the drops. I'll put it up on screen right now. And we got another diamond. That's lucky. So that's unique to the actual structure, but that's on screen. You will have seen that now. Desert wells, they're another structure. These actually have more functionality now because of the suspicious sand, because it only generates at these 2 structures. It was also supposed to generate in villages, but it doesn't. So I know this suspicious sand here, it won't drop anything, which, yep, it definitely didn't drop anything. Also, if you try to use a brush on just normal sand, nothing will actually happen. But this one in the center, as you can see, it's kind of peeking through right now. It actually does have a pottery shard. The arms up one, actually. Because if we look in the barrel here, we have suspicious sand with data. Because if you, on PC, hold control and pick block at the same time, and you get the block that you're looking at with everything that's attached to it. So this suspicious sand has that shard in it, and it will always have it if I'm placing it even in creative, because it's that data. So, suspicious sand, that's how that works. So you can technically have loot, but it'll always be the same loot. So here's the crafting for actual pots, because when you get the pottery shards, this also gives bricks functionality. You can take them, and it is on all four sides. So you get to choose what you put where. So these are directional, actually. So if you put it this way, and then you put it this way, the side you're looking at will always be the front, the same. So the thing you put in the bottom of the crafting table is going to be the front. Back is, like, the top is the back. Left is left, right is right. So you can have any combination of these, but bricks on the pot is just, there's nothing there on that one side. So there won't actually be anything on, let's put it on the top pot, so that's the back. So we've got the prize, and we've got this on the back, there's nothing. Where the other two sides have the arms up, like we put in the crafting table. Now, because these don't have a top hitbox, you can actually stack these and make sort of a pillar. So here we've got like a pillar of diamonds. And I know I'm about to put some item frames just to show you could use these diamonds because you can put like stuff on them. So you could have a pillar with item frames with things you've obtained that are special to you and stuff. The item frames do hang off the block a little bit, so it is funky because the pot is not a full block, but it's fine. It's like the chest, I guess. So that's how you can use the pots. That's one of the functionalities, which is very useful. But pots aren't the only thing that are coming in 1.20, so we need to move on to our next feature, which is the sniffer. Now the sniffer, it's in both versions of the game already, but it doesn't really do all that much to me. I'm not too bothered about it. You can get this torch flower and torch flower seeds. I didn't check if they were in Bedrock, but the sniffer is in the game. And we've also got camels, where did the camel go? The camel went somewhere. Let's just summon a camel just to prove the point. So you get one camel in every village. So it's guaranteed to spawn, and it doesn't respawn. So if you want to breed camels, then you need to take it to another village so that you can get the other camel. It's only in desert villages as well. So that's how you breed camels. So you get one camel in every village. Now there is a feature on Java now, which is the /ride command. Now this has been in Bedrock for a while now. I don't know how long, but Java is getting that parity feature now. So you get the same as Bedrock. So on Java, there's a lot more options, but on Bedrock, it's fairly limited, like most of things on Bedrock are. So you can't have things that shouldn't be riding each other. Such as here, I'm going to be having a villager riding the camel, which, as you see, riders that did not meet the ride conditions villager. So it doesn't actually work on Bedrock like that. So let's go on to the version that actually does have it work like that and talk about every other feature that's in 1.20 and the features that we already have. So here we are on Java. You can see it is a little funky because there is a high contrast UI resource pack that's built into the game now. So I've enabled that just to show you what that would look like. And there is also a new create world screen. So this is what that looks like. Obviously just imagine like the dirt background like usual on non-contrast. So you've got all this. So it's very similar in terms of having all the buttons, but they're just organized very differently. Which I prefer this layout, but it's still very boring compared to the Bedrock layout. So let's go on to the world of everything in 1.20. And here you see, we already have a difference. So the brush is actually made with a stick, copper ingot, and feather, which is far more useful because copper doesn't have many uses right now. Obviously, you've still got all the bamboo stuff and everything like you do on Bedrock, but stick, copper, feather, that's how you get brush now. And also, here's a thing to mention, potions don't have a glint anymore for the enchantment glint. Potions do not have that. They are just basic potions now. which it didn't really make sense, but that's a feature, not a bug. So here on signs, you see 1 through 4 and 1 through 4 on the hanging sign. Now notice how this is different because on Java, the text size is actually enlarged on hanging signs to make it all fit and take up all the space available, which is not how Bedrock does it. So I find this far better if they want to keep signs having 4 lines, which clearly they do because they enlarge the text, and they wouldn't do that on accident. So this is the torch flower you get from Sniffers. You can also use the flower pot thing and everything. Archaeology is a thing on here. Then there's torch flower seeds as well. So this is what the sniffer sniffs out and digs up. They dig up the torch flower seeds. I don't know how you grow them, but I know you can get a torch flower from them, which the only real use for it, apart from being a flower from what I've heard, is Suspicious Stew, but it's actually a duplicate Suspicious Stew. I feel like they should definitely add a different Suspicious Stew, effect. Because this one copies, I'm pretty sure it's the Poppy for regeneration. I don't actually remember now, I'd have to check. The Suspicious Sand on Java is different. As you see, when I brush this sand away, it actually just turns into actual sand. Where on Bedrock, it disappears, it goes. It's gone, forever. So this is the difference between them. I personally like this more, especially because when you've got an item inside of the sand, it slowly slides out of the side of the sand, so it emerges like that, which I find a lot better, but what they originally revealed is still better. So here we have cherry wood. So this is for the new cherry blossom biome, grove, whatever it's called. So I've made a little house here, and then teleported to one. So I've actually found a fairly small one. From what I've seen, they tend to be fairly high up, but this is what a cherry biome would look like. Yeah, bees can spawn here naturally as well, very, very common. There's pink petals, which we'll talk more about in a second. So the cherry blossom biome, that's a new biome. I like it. It gives very different colour to work with if you want to use pink stuff, pink wood specifically. Now you do have that option. It's not just the crimson wood now, because you've also got pure pink. It's bright. It's very different to normal Minecraft stuff. I like it quite a lot. Moving back, we have the trapdoors now. They have a 3x3 grid like the crafting table, so I kind of like that. There's pressure plates. Obviously, you saw the button on the command block. Leaves, they go on the trees. Strip logs, they blend nicely with the planks, so I enjoy that. The doors are very different. They have like petals in them. Obviously the stairs, slabs, all that good stuff. We also, of course, do have boats. So I tried to use every cherry block in the house thing. But we have boats, chest boat. So that's like normal. There's no raft because nothing but bamboo has raft, and bamboo does not have boats. So this is the sapling, which reminds me a lot of the dark oak tree sapling. And then the pink petals. So you place them like sea pickles, and they have the 4 stages. Oh, candles also have that, like for the placing thing like sea pickles. So they're the 4 stages that you get, and I do like it. It definitely gives a new vibe if you wanted to have some kind of petals, some nature. Piglin heads are already a thing on here as well. Obviously get them with charged creepers, like any other head. Armor trims. These are still on Java only for now. And these make netherite so much harder to use. Not get, but use. Because you can't really use it in the armor as easily now. So you need a smithing template, armor piece, and something you're actually trying to either trim with or apply. In that case, it would have to be netherite for now. Because there's just no other ore like this. Like netherite, that is. See, if I just grab myself some armor, grab myself some copper, and then get the chest plate. Nope, you have to put in trim first. Chest plate, copper, and it applies it on. It shows you on the armor stand what that would look like. So then applied it, and I like that quite a lot. Oh, screenshot. Nope. Yeah, so that's what that would look like. So there's multiple armor trims, as you can see here. And obviously you can use any resource, almost any resource that's in the ingredients tab. Because that's mostly what this is. Like copper, iron, amethyst. I don't think you can use quartz. You can use emerald. You can use diamond, netherite even, if you want to go expensive. But there's a lot of different combinations you can make with this. You could even use dyed leather armor. So you could have some thousands of combinations with that for the full armor set. Along with tools, that doesn't mean, you can't trim tools yet, which is sad. I went over that in my rating Minecraft suggestions video, if you want to check that out. It's on the little eye, top left, right hand corner right now. That's what that looks like. So trim tools don't exist. I want them, obviously. So, but I mean, in terms of tools and armor combination, to have different tools in your hand. So that's what I mean by that. Anyways, we're going to move on to my personal favourite armor trim right now. So this is the armor trim that I'm personally going to be using a lot. So it's amethyst and diamond trims on netherite armor. I quite like that. It is a little bit of a mix. I've used the coastal armor trim. That also is probably one of the most common ones you're going to find, since they're in shipwrecks. And armor trims spawn in sets of 2. So anytime you do find them in a chest, it will always be in 2. If you don't find one, then you don't find any. You can't get one. Moving on to the /ride command, as I mentioned. So you can literally ride anything. So here I'm going to try and ride a blaze. And I don't really know commands on Java, so just wait for me to figure this out. And a few minutes later, we have riding a blaze. So you can't control it, sadly. You can't obviously put a saddle on it. You can see its health. But it does move, and you move on top of it because you're literally riding it. But you can't control it unless it's a mob that you can obviously control. But that's normally a mob that you can actually ride without the command. So if I'm trying out another blaze here, oh, that's the same blaze. Moving in F5 is not very easy. Okay. But let's try out something apart from a blaze, so we can have a piglin brute. So I'm hoping this will actually move. Piglin brute. Yeah, so as you can see here, I am actually moving on top of it. So that's what that would look like. It obviously moves, you move on top of it, you're riding it. I experiment with this quite a lot. So here I am literally riding a tadpole. Literally riding a tadpole. I find it kind of funny. It will die because it's not in water, but it just jumps around with you on it. So it is a little cool feature. I like it. And that's just the parity change that they've done. Anyways, that will, however, be all for this video. So if you did enjoy it and want to see more of these kinds of videos, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more videos by me. If you want a seed of this world, this same world on Java and Bedrock, based on seed, here's the seed. So it's because this world has got Savannah Islands behind me, there's a jungle and mangrove and a desert all next to me. If you did want that, there it is. Anyway, that's all.